In this video, we'll be talking about what you can get in Hampton, Virginia for between $200,000 and $300,000. So we're going to head on out, we'll walk the neighborhoods, talk about the homes, the styles, what's nearby, and everything in homes that are in the low twos, mid twos, and high twos. My name is David Tortellini. I'm with eXp Realty. Stick around and we'll get right to it. Alright, well, we're going to get started with what you can get in the low 200s here in Hampton. Before we do me a favor and hit the like button and subscribe to this channel. And it is a gorgeous June afternoon. It's about 85 degrees and sunny, so I've got to have my shades on. But, you know, this neighborhood that we're in, we're really close to downtown Hampton. And what you're going to find in this neighborhood for around $200,000 are going to be little Cape Cods and ranchers that are going to be, I don't know, maybe 1,000 or 1,200 square feet that, you know, and at a little bit higher, maybe like 215, you're going to get some nice updated homes too, little flips. There are a lot of flips in Hampton in this price range because you can get a small home and renovate it. So it's a pretty good price point for investors. Now, that's also good for buyers. So we're coming up here on a home that recently sold, 632 Augusta, and this one was 3 beds, 1 bath, 1,200 square feet, and it was a nice little flip, and it sold for $215. So really good price point to be in, and I think that should just be your expectation for this price range, is to be kind of in that 3 bed, 1 bath, 1,000 square feet sort of mentality. And you know, then this neighborhood I really like just because it's so close to downtown Hampton, where there's a ton of restaurants and breweries. So location of this one's pretty great, but you can find this price point kind of scattered throughout Hampton. So really doesn't matter too much what part of Hampton you want to be in. You should be able to find something like this because these types of neighborhoods are kind of scattered throughout the entire city. All right, well, let's talk about what you can get in Hampton for the mid twos. So we're in a great little neighborhood that is tucked away behind the Hampton Coliseum Business District. So it's a large area that's filled with pretty much all the shopping you could imagine. So think about Peninsula Town Center with your Barnes and Nobles and your big stores and a whole bunch of restaurants. That's all about 30 seconds from here. So this is kind of a little bit of a hidden neighborhood. I don't think a lot of people really know a ton about it, but you know, it also is a really good example for this price point because what it has are a lot of ranch style homes that, if in really good condition, are going to sell for the mid twos. So you know, some of the homes, a typical 250 house in Hampton, I would say is a 3 bed 2 bath home, probably ranch style, that is going to be between, you know, maybe 1,200 to 1,500 square feet. And that's what this neighborhood has a bunch of. So this is a really good example of what you're going to get. And I just happen to really like the location. So it's a really fun area to come and show you. Now, I was the buyer's agent on this house here that's coming up just about 6 weeks ago. Now, this was listed for $230,000, but it's a flip. So it's a 3 bed, 1.5 bath flip. It's totally renovated inside. It's really cute. And that was actually a $230,000, but we had a bunch of offers that we're competing in. So we got it for just under $250,000. So I think that's just a good example of what you're going to get in Hampton in the mid twos. So, you know, like I mentioned, 3 beds, 1.5 if it's really nice, 2 full baths if it maybe just still needs a little bit of updating but not too much. So a lot of good quality homes in Hampton in this price range. So if you think that maybe the mid twos is a good price range for you, that's pretty much what I think you should expect. Alrighty, and this is going to bring us to a neighborhood called the Sandlin Lakes. And we're going to be talking about homes in kind of the mid to high twos in this situation, you know, so something maybe in that 265 to 290 range. And this neighborhood, what I love about it is its location. So it's in this northwestern corner of Hampton, so it really borders Newport News and York County. It's kind of right up in the corner there, and that means that you just have really easy access to Route 17 and everything that is York County. You have a straight shot to Langley Air Force Base, so you're probably 7 minutes to Langley Air Force Base, and then, you know, really it's super easy just to get over to Newport News. My office is in City Center in Newport News, and it only takes me about 6 minutes to get here. So really easy to get up and down 17, get over to Newport News, go do Yorktown stuff. So, and the proximity to Langley is a huge advantage with this neighborhood. So the price per square foot tends to be a little bit higher. And so what you're seeing behind me is a combination of some two-story traditional homes. Most of them have a single car garage, and then a lot of ranchers. And so what people like about the ranch style homes in this neighborhood are that they have kind of an open concept, which is very rare for this area. You know, most of the homes that we have that are ranch style were built in the 60s, and so they're pretty traditional and they're kind of tight. But what they like about it is that you have the kitchen. It opens right up into a living room with vaulted ceilings. So when you see these you know, the pitched roofs here, they are vaulted ceilings for the living room, and everybody loves it. So it's super desirable. Now, we are about to come up on an active listing of mine. So, you know, we had this one right here, 58 Sandlin Lakes. We had this listed for $265. We're under contract for a bit higher than that. So we'll make sure it closes at that, and when it does, I'll put the final price in the description. But listed at $265, you know, multiple offers, so that was nice. You know, and at that price point, we did some updates to this. So we put in some new flooring. They had put in a new roof a few years back, new HVAC, but there were still some kind of dated things. So like the kitchen, kitchen cabinets, counters, and then like the bathrooms were still kind of dated, but overall it showed great. Fresh paint in a lot of the home. I mentioned the flooring. So we were able to list this at $265 and get it under contract for a little bit higher than that. Now, there's a full flip up the beginning of the neighborhood that was listed at $288, and I believe just closed at that. So, you know, you can get a little bit higher if you're going to look at these full flips. But for what I would consider to be a good quality home in this neighborhood, you're going to be in that, you know, 260, 275 sort of range. And then if you get up into some of these two stories, you're going to go a bit higher than that. But you know, if your budget is in this, you know, 250 to 280 range, this is a really great neighborhood if you want to come to Hampton. Okay, well now let's take a look at our high twos, close to $300,000 range neighborhood. So we're in a neighborhood called Fairfield, and it's adjacent to another neighborhood called Foxbridge, and I actually can't tell you where one begins and one ends. I thought they were just one giant neighborhood, but they're not. And but really, what you're really just going to get at this point is more square footage. So, you know, where we were in the mid twos and a little bit above, you were looking at, you know, maybe 1,500. Now you're going to start looking at like 1,750, 2,000 square feet, stuff like that. So you're really just going to get a little bit more size. Now, a little bit about this area is we're in an area that generally people call Fox Hill. Now, if you talk to a Hampton native, someone who's from, you know, born and raised in Fox Hill, they will tell you this neighborhood is not in Fox Hill, but everybody else on the planet calls it Fox Hill. So you don't really, you know, have to worry too much about that. But, you know, then the thing that I like about this neighborhood is, you know, one, it's kind of, you know, it's a little away from things, but it's also right where everything is. So really all you have to do is drive up the street and hit Mercury, and then you're going to be right where you want to be, which is going to be the neighborhood I mentioned earlier, the shopping I mentioned earlier, like Coliseum Central District. So you're really right down the street from that. Now, the home behind me here, this rancher. Now this is a 4-bed, 2-bath. This one's pretty big. It's like 2,355 square feet. This recently sold for $299. So, you know, they got a little more size here. I think maybe the fact it doesn't have a garage is what kind of knocked it down a bit, because it's pretty decent looking inside. But overall, you know, this is a neighborhood that is going to draw a lot of people who are at Langley Air Force Base. You know, it's really easy to get to base from here, so that's going to be a huge draw. And then, you know, we really could have done the whole video just in this neighborhood, because you're going to find some starter homes in here that are only going to be, you know, 200 to 220, and then really everything in between. So we really could have just done this whole video for 200 to 300 right here. But, you know, I think if you're looking at high twos in Hampton, you know, expect to get into some 2-story homes. You know, there's another one that's sold down the street here I wanted to actually go by, but there's the whole family's in the front yard, so I didn't want to do that. But they that one was a 4-bed, 1.5 bath, and about 1,800 square feet, and that's also sold for $285. So I think, you know, you're going to see still 1.5 bath homes in the high twos, but they're going to have some square footage to them, and they're going to be in neighborhoods that are pretty desirable. And just before we wrap up the house thing, the one thing you do need to always keep in mind with Hampton is that flood insurance is required in many of the neighborhoods. In fact, I'd say about half the houses here in this neighborhood do require flood insurance. So you always want to check on that, because it's going to affect your payment. We're going to wrap up here in downtown Hampton. I've got the Air and Space Center right behind me, and there's an awesome party going on over at the marina, so a lot of activity, but really just wanted to finish up right here. And I really do hope that you found today's video helpful. You know, if you're looking to move to Hampton, or maybe you have a friend and family member who's getting transferred to Langley Air Force Base or taking a job at the Newport News shipyard, just know that my team and I are on standby, ready to help. In the meantime, do me a favor and like this video, subscribe to this channel, and share this video with anyone who you know who may find it helpful. Again, my name is David Tortellini, and I'll talk to you soon.